Hello everyone, thanks for being there. I will not talk too much about myself, even if I like it a lot. I will introduce you, Sabrina and Pauline. Maybe you can introduce yourself and explain who you are at G2 and Ralph Lauren. Sabrina, can you start?
Happy to. Hi everyone, thanks for listening to us today. I'm Sabrina, I'm the commercial director for G2 Esports, which means I look after all our revenue streams in our organization, excluding prize money. That's what I leave in the capable hands of my esports colleagues. But I look after brand partnerships, talent commercialization, consumer products, and media rights.
Hey everyone, nice to finally meet face to face. So glad to be here. I'm Pauline, I'm based in Paris. I'm working at Ralph Lauren since more than 11 years now. It's a long love story. So I'm looking after media for Europe, Middle East and Latin America. I'm also looking after consumer intelligence and experience globally. And the last piece, I'm also looking after Esport globally, and it's an amazing new dimension that I'm leading, so super excited to be here.
Okay, thank you. That was very clear. I will start with you, Pauline. Can you explain us how did the discussion go with Sabrina from day one, and how did you come up with this milestone partnership?
It has been an amazing journey with Sabrina and the entire team. So I'm just here showcasing a slide because I think when you think about Ralph Lauren, you need to think about more than 50 years of a lifestyle, a world of sport, and we are operating across multiple of sports. And for us, it was a natural fit to move into that new dimension and to really reach out to that new generation. So we started the conversation with Sabrina about, hey, how can we enter about the world of esports, thinking about G2, like the world's leading global organization and the biggest in Europe. So for us, it was an amazing conversation. Sabrina really, I would say, guide us in that journey to make a perfect, I would say, partnership. And at Ralph Lauren, as you can see, we have been always building long-term partnership. We are not a one-off brand. We are not those kind of opportunistic dimension. We are really operating in a long-term vision. We want to win within the esports journey. We want to take the lead globally. And Sabrina is really guiding us on that front.
Okay, thanks. I know communities are really important for G2. You are very famous for that, and all the communication that you can do toward this community. How did you onboard them in such a unique partnership?
Yeah, that's a good question. It is true that community is everything for us. Who follows our social knows we're known as the meme kings, right? We take the conversation that we have with our fans really seriously. That's why we did take a bit of time to make a decision on who we want to partner with in the fashion space, and we did this on purpose. We spoke to many, many brands out there for over 1.5 years, actually. But then when we started the conversation with Ralph Lauren, we in parallel reached out to our audience and tried to get an understanding of what are fashion brands that they consider relevant for them, what are buying criteria, what are fashion styles that they're really into, and what would they expect from a fashion partnership. And we collected this in 2 to 3 different surveys and used this as a basis for our decision making. And luckily enough, Ralph Lauren came up on top in most of the surveys, and that was great for us to see because we had this long but really fruitful conversation about what the partnership can look like. And as Pauline said, we also were searching for a long-term partnership. So for us, it was important that whoever we commit to, A, fits to our community, but then also B, wants to go on this journey with us on a long-term basis. And wants to work with us very broadly, right? So for us, this is not just equipping players with nice clothes. For us, this is working on joint product, working on virtual collections, right? All this partnership at the heart is bridging the virtual and physical world, right? So on and offline is what we want to play with on a daily. And Pauline and Stephanie and the team, they were super open to it. We could brainstorm ideas, they would come up with ideas, and we just understood that this is a partnership that will be robust enough to run on a long-term basis. And when we announced it, it was beautiful to see actually, because we never had, and we launched quite a bit of partnerships over the past years, we never had such an overwhelmingly positive feedback. It was touching actually, because we had 99% of the feedback sentiment from our audience was positive. There were only 2 critical comments, and those were 2 fans that were very worried about their credit card bill, because
Who are they?
they were looking forward to a Ralph Lauren and G2 collab.
Okay, thank you so much. So we discussed a bit on before the signature, before the announcement. Then we discussed about the announcement, and I think a lot of the people there must have seen the quality content that you did to announce the partnership. Tell us what's next. Pauline, tell us.
Yeah, and I think I'm just going to go back about the dimension of that partnership to also explain what is coming next. That partnership is really like a full 360-degree dimensions. So it's really about looking after the teams, the talents, the coaches, the entire G2 dimension, the full community, the fellowship, the fan base. So yes, it's not just about building a kind of influencer program. It's really about be together with that team, supporting that team and sharing those values about sportsmanship, about togetherness. And I think the power of Ralph Lauren has been always around those core values and also about family. So joining G2 and the G2 army was about, yeah, let's do that amazing new family dimension between Ralph Lauren and the new generation. So yes, we announced that partnership. We got amazing, I would say, both B2B and B2C press coverage, communities feedback. And I also think a lot about those communities and people asking, when can I buy the product? Where can I see the product collaboration? So yes, this is part of this dimension. So immediately after the launch of this collaboration, we have been integrating immediately G2 within our own, I would say, corporate campaigns. So for the Wimbledon, here we have been featuring Reckless, part of our campaign, alongside with amazing world champions. So that's really, again, celebrating the world of sport, the world of sportsmanship, and also bridging the gap between, I would say, traditional sport and the new sport. Because a lot, when you speak about that dimension, people tend to split the two. Actually, we should not. It's all about sport. And Beckham and Reckless could be in the same room. And we have this power, actually, to bring, I would say, Jankos or Nikos together with Beckham in the same room. So that is the beauty, I would say, of what we do. And the next, so soon, watch out on your social platform. This is our campaign that we are launching for the fall season, featuring great talents, great pro players from G2. And this is just the beginning. I'm going to show you now some quick pics of that campaign and a video. But just to say that this is just the beginning of a big partnership that will include, again, that product collaboration, talent, ambassador programs, metaverse partnership. So we are really looking into that as well on the Ralph Lauren side. Maybe some of you have seen what we did with Bitmoji. We were the first brand to launch a Bitmoji fashion outfitting. We have been launching on Zepeto, and we are currently working on many other metaverse ecosystems, so more to come. So we are really passionate about those dimensions. Dimension of esport, gaming, and the full journey started 3 years ago on a brainstorm at Wimbledon with the Wimbledon team, with Facebook, about what should we go next? How could we engage those communities queuing in front of Wimbledon? And this is where we launched our first branded game. And from branded game, we move into esports. So more to come. So let me show you a video.
Gamer pour moi c'est une passion avant tout et jouer en équipe pour partager des moments et c'est dans ces moments-là qu'on arrive à construire un esprit de famille, un esprit d'équipe.
How you perform with your team inside but also outside of the game means everything.
It's important you just treat everyone with respect.
Yo creo que el deporte une a la gente porque es muy divertido. Puedes ver partidos con tus amigos y vivirlo lo máximo con ellos también.
On travaille énormément, on rentre dans un système. Justement, à la fin, c'est pour toucher cette lumière et gagner.
Yeah, this encapsulates the global collaboration. It's more than just esports, it's just like a proper lifestyle that you want to get associated with. Okay, that was the first time that we saw that video?
Yeah, and it's not yet launched, so watch out soon on G2's platform and more to come. And just to say that, I would invite you all to tune in on October 27 on Twitch. You will have a unique live momentum where we are going to ask the full community to raise funds to support breast cancer. So the full G2 family, so I don't know how far you know about Ralph Lauren, but for more than 20 years we have been launching a fund called Pink Pony. So we are really involved into several charities, but starting with breast cancer. So we are doing this unique live momentum with the entire G2 army, with many other talents also coming from the music industry. So we like to mix entertainment with sport together with our lifestyle. And yeah, watch out, tune in on October 27, 6 p.m. from the Berlin Arena.
Okay, we will be there for sure. But yeah, that just shows that you want to create bridges between the different platforms of entertainment that you have. You've been a long partner of Wimbledon, you are partnering with MLB, with all the different partners you were talking about. So do you really want to focus the next action with G2, making bridges with the other partners that you have?
Yeah, I think what we have seen already with Wimbledon is how we are integrating actually the G2 family within our sport program. But again, yes, more to come in terms of collaboration and partnership. We are, yes, a lot involved into all of those. Wimbledon, the US Open, Australian Open, the Olympic Games, the MLB, so a lot. Golf as well. So more to come, potentially new sport, joining the Ralph Lauren world of sport as well. But yes, we like to mix, to merge those dimensions. And again, like I was saying earlier, I think it's really the time where sport is a big sport family. And we have seen within the esport journey a lot of sport guys joining esport, investing into esport, starting with David Beckham. I keep speaking about David Beckham because he's one of our amazing clients at Ralph Lauren. So yes.
Yeah, we like to say that esport fans are just like common human beings with many different passion points, and gaming is just one of them. So that's the right way to address them and explain that they are part of a bigger entertainment system. So that's well played. Sabrina, tell us a bit. I know that metaverses is something very relevant for brands. How can you, with the rest of the G2 team, be an asset for a brand like Ralph Lauren exploring these metaverses?
Yeah, sure. I think it's perfect timing for us actually that we announced the partnership a while ago while we were in parallel working on our metaverse strategy, which is linked to our NFT program that will go live next month. And this all interconnects this digital engagement touch points that we want to establish with Ralph Lauren. So you will see very seamless crossovers between physical collections that we will do together and virtual collections. Fans will be able to have unique access to collections that on a virtual level that will then translate into physical assets. We'll have dedicated content that we will work on, also incorporated into our metaverse strategy, and that's a long-term strategy, right? Our metaverse strategy as a whole is at the moment 2.5 years. This is the first leg pretty much that we have planned, and that's just the starting point. And that's why it was so important for us to have a partner that wants to do this with us on a long-term basis. And while there will be physical opportunities for fans to engage, the core is really, and the heart is really in the digital touch points, right? And that's where we hope that our audience will engage even more with Ralph Lauren, and Ralph Lauren will be an integral part and top of mind for them on a global scale.
Okay. I have one question for you, Pauline. You tell us that the first idea came up like 3 years ago during a brainstorm. I'm not that bad at mathematics, so it was 2018. Yeah, right? I'm bad at mathematics actually. But so it was before the Louis Vuitton partnership that was really famous and that a lot of people consider as a milestone for the industry. So it was before that. What was the first thing that you saw within eSport that was an inspiration for you and made up your mind about diving into it?
No, for sure, yes. We started the journey by thinking about our own games. So, and actually we were one of those first within, I would say, premium luxury ecosystem to launch our own branded games. So we launched this Wimbledon Endless Runner, and then we have been launching other type of games using our Polo Bear, because Polo Bear is one of our most iconic, precious assets at Ralph Lauren. And at the same time, we have seen the other guys within the industry launching their own games. So we have seen Louis Vuitton as well launching an Endless Runner style. We have seen Gucci launching also in their app a full kind of branded games, also to connect with their user, engage those communities and attract those new customers. And yes, suddenly Louis Vuitton signed up with Riot's League of Legends. We have seen Gucci with Fnatic, Gucci with 100 Thieves. So yes, we are really watching out what is happening in the space. Recently, Balenciaga with Fortnite, Burberry and Tencent. So a lot of partnerships are happening in the space. Some of them are going directly as more kind of sponsorship. So Louis Vuitton is more about sponsoring more kind of an event with Riot and doing product collaboration. Gucci is more kind of one-off sponsoring teams and launching product collaboration. Burberry or Balenciaga will be more about the skins and entering directly the metaverse. So different type of ways of infiltrating the space. And I think this is what we are looking. And sometimes you run, you walk, like you choose like how fast you would like to go in the journey. It's not about being a first each time. I think it's about understanding like where we should be going with the right pace to go to really make an authentic partnership and this natural fit. So we are launching at the same time the esport, the gaming, the metaverse. We are also looking at NFT, but always making sure that this is part of a full long-term visionary plan, responding to our brand and business objective and making sure that the community behind respond to that. So again, I think Gucci is a good example, I would say. Gucci has been doing a lot in the space between metaverse, skins, and product collaboration. So yes, we are looking a lot about what they are doing, and at the same time, we are building our own journey, and more on the long-term base again, like I was saying, and instead of one-off.
I think, just to add to that, what I always loved about Ralph Lauren's view on how to enter esports was that they, similar as they engage in traditional sports, is they put the talent at the center, right? And that's obviously what we do at G2 as well. So for us, this is a natural play. Whenever we discuss whether that's videos that you've just seen that are part of a holistic campaign or social activations or meet and greet with fans or whatever, we always make sure that the individual, and in our case that's the player or the creator, is at the center. So we work a lot with our talents, try to understand what they want to do with Ralph Lauren, what they are excited about. And that's where a lot of the good ideas actually come from, right? Reckless was very involved in how the Wimbledon shoot came together, right? Because we wanted to make sure he's comfortable with it. And it was very prestigious for him. He was super proud, and it was great to see that he had the opportunity to be part of such a global campaign.
Yeah, I mean, you're the face of the new Polo Ralph Lauren campaign. It's a big deal. I'm up for it for the next time. Okay, I have one question, maybe not linked to the partnership that you got, because you were very precise, very clear about it, and thank you so much for that. My question is more about why are you there at Esports Bar? I know it's still pretty new for you, Pauline. What's the aim of being there at Esports Bar in Cannes?
I think it's interesting to understand like everyone's strategies and plan, and also for us to anticipate the next, how we can bring, I would say, new projects, new ideas on the Ralph Lauren side, making sure that we get even further connection with the support of Sabrina and Richard here. So yeah, I think it's doing new partnership. We are just at the beginning, at the start of this new dimension. So yeah, building more connection, thinking about what are the next opportunities for us. Yeah, so I think yes, we are really looking at that. Connecting with people, finding the right next project for us.
Interesting. What about you, Sabrina? Why are you there?
Yeah, same. I mean, when I was invited to talk to you today, I thought I'm not interested to do this on my own. I wanted her to be there because I have to give her the compliment that she really managed to educate Ralph Lauren globally on esports 1.5 years ago, when really, and I know that because I was part of those calls, not a lot of people at Ralph Lauren understood the value of esports on what it can bring to the business. So she did a stellar job in educating the business, bringing everyone behind it. That's why I obviously had to drag her here and tell the story together. But then from our side, from a G2 standpoint, it's obviously interesting to discuss with brands, but also with rights holders on what we can do next year. From a G2 standpoint, we are going a lot more into the entertainment space going into next year. We're finally opening our New York office beginning of next year, so that's a big step for us in terms of a second headquarter. We'll be very entertainment heavy when we activate on the East Coast. And yeah, we want to be established and seen as an esportainment brand, right? Carlos always from the get-go, and that was one of the reasons why I back then wanted to work with G2 after leaving Red Bull, was he understood that esports is a form of entertainment. It's just not sport. And that's why partnerships like Ralph Lauren are interesting, because they intersect with so many other subcultures. And that's also how we want to live the G2 brand, right? We want to intersect esports with music, with culture. Watch out, Carlos will release his first song soon, so there's a lot to come.
So many teasers during this conference. Okay, I think it's 5 minutes to the end, so I'm gonna thank you. That was really interesting. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And we are really excited about the next step. So if my calendar is right, so we will tune in on October 27 at 6 p.m.
Yes, 6 p.m., October 27. I count all of you.
For the pink tennis. So we will be there.
A big moment.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, and have a good day at Cannes.
Thanks
Thank you, everyone.